What's up, everybody? It's your girl Amanda C back again for another My Paranormal Experience. So, as I'm sure many of you are aware, I have been absent for the last 2 weeks almost. Well, I've been down for the count, guys. Sorry about the dings. You might hear a few notifications because I'm a dum-dum and keep forgetting to shut them off. So, anyways, and yes, I smoke cigarettes. I'm sorry. It's a really horrible habit, but I'm cutting back. So, here we go. In today's video, I would like to share another experience from my aunt's farmhouse when I was a kid. Now, at this time, I was probably about 5 years old. It was the year before I saw the actual thing in the house, okay? Pretty much, me and my cousin John, once again, the one you hear me talk about in that house, it was his house. So him and I were outside playing. And his father was upstairs in his bedroom. I believe he was putting a bed together. And they were remodeling the back bedroom because, see, in John's room, they found, like, this secret room, okay? But it wasn't a secret. It was just a cubby that extended the room about maybe 5 feet more. So they pulled down the wall that was separating the two rooms. And when they did that, you could just feel something was wrong. That something that was in there was not happy. So, I mean, weird shit had happened before that, but it never escalated to the point to where it got when I was 6 until after they opened up that room. Now, granted, there wasn't anything crazy in there, like kids' drawings or scratches on the wall or anything. There was just a fucking chair and a table. That was it. There was nothing else in there. Like an end table. And I believe like the school desk was what it was an old school desk. Because you see, you could get a hold of them fucking things. And my uncle worked for the school, so he had access to all kinds of stuff like that. So that doesn't mean that it was like, somebody was trapped in there or anything crazy like that. So... But once they opened that fucking cubby, everything got crazy. So as we're standing outside, they were working up there, him and his father. Now this would be my uncle, my then uncle and his father. My cousin and I were downstairs in the yard playing in front of the barn, riding bikes, and he had a wagon, and I was like dragging the wagon along with this big red tricycle. Okay, it was just like a fucking radio flyer tricycle. I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm just, kind of like pedaling along, and all of a sudden, Big John, my cousin's father, hollers out the window, "You kids stay away from the pigs." And we looked up at the window, and we watched, both of us watched this window just bam, right down on his fucking neck. Hard as shit. Now, most people could say that it was just like swelling wood and stuff like that. Once you put that window up, you had to bang on the sides of it like tap, 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 tap with a fucking hammer to get it to go back down. So the wood was old, it was warped. I could say that, there's a million reasons why it happened, but explain this to me. When both him and his father were pulling on that motherfucker to pull it up off of his neck, it was choking him. Something was pushing on it from the top. At least that's how he described it. We watched it happen. It trapped his head, slammed down on his head, and he could not get it off. Could not. And then his father, sorry about that, couldn't get it off him either. They actually had to stand there fighting with it. Well, eventually it just let go, and it was like nothing ever happened. Needless to say, that particular window, was nailed shut. There was no more open in that motherfucker. And besides, that bedroom was icy cold even in the blistering of summer. Even in the blistering heat of summer. It was so fucking cold up there all the time. And in the wintertime, to give you an example, in the wintertime, we actually had to put a fucking stand-up fan at the bottom of the stairs to blow the hot air from the wood stove up the stairs. And there were vents. This wood stove was hooked up to the house. Like, it was an actual indoor wood stove, meant to heat the entire building. and the vents all worked. But that room, just my cousin's room, was icy cold all year round. Didn't matter how hot it was outside, didn't matter. And some people could say that it's just really well insulated, but this house was built in like 1894 or some shit. The original foundation was laid in like 1894. Like, the house wasn't even built until like 1900. And I'm talking old ass motherfucking Queen Anne Victorian style fucking farmhouse. So you can imagine all the nooks and crannies and cubbies in that bitch. So yeah, that was another experience. That was my uncle getting his head slammed in the window, and not really sure what that was, but that was just another experience in that house where there are so many of them in that house. And they only lived there for like 3 years. They only lived there for like 3 years, and it killed animals. I'm really positive that it killed animals. Barnyard animals like chickens and rabbits. Household, the cats. Like, there was a couple of cats that actually died from, we don't know what the fuck killed them. We just found them crumpled in a heap in a corner, and then you pick them up and their head flops all the way back. Like, what did you fall off of a fucking 6-story building and break your spine? That's not normal. So there's all kinds of stuff that happened in that house. But yeah, anyways, guys, as always, I hope you like the story. I hope you like the videos. I'm sorry that I don't keep them coming very often. It's just really hard to be sick and try to dig through your family and make these people tell you stuff. You know what I mean? So, yes, I've been sick. I'm sure you can tell I sound really stuffy and shit, but I'm getting over it now. So, I'm going to try to give these, videos. I'm going to try to compile a few different stories and just make a few videos. That way I can release a couple like every day. I don't know that it'll be every day. I can't promise that, but it'll at least be once every couple of days. Alright, guys, I'm going to get the hell up out your hair. Enjoy the rest of your day. And as always, like, subscribe, comment, all of that stuff. You know the drill, people. Alright, as always, stay safe. God bless.